Welcome back. Come sit with me again. The truth is, you don't need the answers right now. You don't need clarity. And you don't even need hope. Just a little presence. If life is feeling harder than it ever has, if it feels like you're completely surrounded by resistance, if you're wondering if this is a sign that you should quit, I want you to hang out with me today, just for a little while. Because what you're experiencing may not be failure. It may be a threshold. You know, there's universal patterns that no one lets us know or warns us about. And there's a pattern in life that, like, we are not ready for. And it's truth. Right before things expand, they constrict. Right before growth, there's extreme pressure. And right before a level up, everything feels harder, slower, and heavier. And because no one's ever told us this, we assume something is wrong. We assume we're on the wrong path. We assume this is saying quit. We assume everything's wrong, but nothing is wrong. Something is forming. It's called growing pains for a reason. The greater the pressure, the greater the potential. And it's a truth, and a very understandable one, that most people will quit when the resistance gets too much. And it has nothing to do with being weak or uncommitted or not good enough. It's just because they misread the signal. And I read these signals sometimes. Because when things get hard, when they get difficult, when there's no progress, when I feel like I'm spinning my wheels, I think this means stop. But so often, all these signs are saying, stay, hold on, continue. This is where dreams are filtered. This is where intentions are tested. You know, not everyone is meant to cross this line. Only those willing to endure the confusion without certainty will find their way. So I want to tell you something personal. Recently, I've been going through a really hard season. You know, my work, my life, my future, everything. And it started small, little things like how much engagement am I having through my podcast. And then started having more openings on the schedule. And starting, we're looking at the way the world going and where the finances are. And it seemed like thing after thing after thing started getting on me. And fear started rising. And doubt crept in. And at first I would sit around and not really do anything about it. And started to wonder if I am in the right place. Should I continue? Should I continue with your inner advocate? Is it good enough? Is it making a difference? Is it helping people? Which are all my intentions, but is this the universe telling me that, maybe it's a pipe dream. Maybe I'm not meant for this. Maybe I'll never have the ultimate success I would love to have. And the funny thing is, for me, success isn't about money and fame and stuff. Success is about helping, about being of service to the world, to others. Like turning on a light for people, about helping relieve pressure. Yeah, it just got to the point where everything that could feel uncertain did. And everything that once felt solid, like I was moving in the right direction and doing the right thing, it felt shaky. I mean, including my running, coming back from injury and not being able to move faster, like run faster than a fast walk pace. There's no progress. And doubt was ruling. And I was thinking, maybe this isn't working. Maybe I missed my chance. I'm also looking at my age. I'm a couple of years shy of 60. How much time do I have left? Do I have enough time left? Maybe I missed my chance. Maybe I started too late. Sometimes my body starts to hurt. Maybe I'm asking too much of my body. And as I was mulling in this whole place, I was walking to work one morning, and suddenly it dawned on me. The truth of life is, life will get the very hardest just before you're ready to level up. And it actually makes so much sense. You will question everything about your life, about your future, about who you are, about what you can possibly do. And you have a choice in that moment. And I kind of forgot that I had a choice, and I started going down the rabbit hole with it. You have a choice in that moment to indulge it and believe it and listen to it, or you have a choice to realize that this is a sign of amazing things about to happen. That when it's getting real hard, it's about you're going to have a breakthrough. This is not a sign to quit. This is not a sign of you're not good enough. This is a sign about you're about to level up. And then the pressure went away, and I realized, oh my God, the truth is, it's just letting me know, keep going. You're almost there. You're almost to the top. And yeah, is there another mountain after? Yes. But getting hard isn't a sign of telling you it's time to quit. It's telling you to stay the course. To stay the course. because you're almost there. You're almost to the next level. And is there a level after? Yeah, I hope there's a level forever. And I hope the one thing I can remember as I'm going through level after level is to recognize the signal of when it gets hard, it means I'm almost there. And the truth is, I realized that this hard season was actually teaching me. I learned that growth doesn't announce itself. It can disguise itself as exhaustion, as frustration, as delays. Well, what kind of felt like punishment was actually preparation. What felt like loss was refinement. The truth is, life is not about becoming something. Not at all. We're not here to become something. We were already what we needed to be when we got here. And then we put a whole bunch of stuff in between that and where we were. And life is now about unbecoming everything we're not, everything we took on. We accepted that what life told us, what people told us, and we said that was me when it's not. It never was. Life is about becoming everything you chose to believe you were, but you're not. You unbecome everything you're not so you can finally be who you're meant to be in this life. And I realize life is not breaking us. Like my life is not breaking me. It's actually burning off all these things I don't need anymore. It's like that vision I had years ago when of all these armor I'd put on as a child, like struggling through life, going through bullying and horrible things that happened to me. So I created this incredibly powerful armor, this heavy armor that it kept the whole world away. It kept me safe, but in a box. And when I realized that I can't be that person, my visualization was I'm walking down a cobblestone road towards a sunset. And you can see that, I dropped my gauntlets. I dropped my wrist guards. I dropped my arm plates. I dropped my helmet. Dropped my sword. And piece after piece of armor laying on the cobblestone road. And then me walking into the sunset. No more armor. Finally understanding who I am. Finally letting down all the guards. Because you cannot step into a new level carrying the weight of the old one. You just can't. That's not how it works. And nothing ever levels up without resistance. Muscle grows by tearing. Character grows by pressure. Wisdom grows by enduring what you don't yet understand. By overcoming the things you never thought you could. And honestly, the higher the level, the greater demand for patient trust and honesty. And it's not cruelty, it's design. This is a design to take you to places where you've never been, to become the person you're meant to be on this planet, to endure to the point where you can be perfect for this life. Have you ever heard the Zen Buddhist parable about how do you make a fine weapon? And what you do is you take steel and you heat it to white hot and you pound it flat and you fold it over and you heat it and you beat it down and you heat it and you beat it down. Every time you do this process, the steel becomes finer and finer, and it can make a finer and finer weapon. The more you put it through, the more powerful, the more strong, the more capable it is. Every time you level up, you're going through that heating process and the beating process. And we have a choice, And there's always a choice. When this life asks, do you want comfort or transformation? You can choose comfort. But comfort will pull you back into the life you want to level up from. And growth asks you just to stay a little longer, just long enough to change. And unfortunately, so many people leave at this moment, at that moment when life is asking. And it's not because they couldn't do it. It's just because they didn't know what it meant. And I want you to know what it means. If there's one thing I can do for you in this lifetime, is to reframe when it gets hard. When it gets hard, it's not about quitting. Don't quit when it gets hard. Keep going. Hard doesn't mean quit. And what changed everything for me was this realization. The hard part wasn't blocking the breakthrough. The hard part is not saying stop. The hard part is not saying I'm not good enough. The hard part is not trying to stop me. The hard part is the breakthrough. And the breakthrough is a little bit elongated. It takes a little bit of time. You need to hold on during that. Now I stop fighting the season. And in the future, I'm going to hold this truth that I don't need to fight the hard times. I just need to endure. And now I can stop demanding clarity. Like, why has this happened? Why me? Why not me? And in fact, yeah, in a sense, why me? Have you ever heard somebody say life's not fair? See, I went through this as a kid. Life is not fair. It really isn't. That works on both sides, right? Is it fair that I should have a job that I love every day, that I go every day and I'm charged to be here and I work long hours and I feel like I'm making a difference when not everybody gets that? Is it fair that I should go all through all these things, these hard things that shaped and developed me and created compassion and empathy so that I could be the person who could do this job and possibly make a difference in the world? And when I can hold space for people, that I feel so good about myself. It's not fair that another person didn't get that too. This is where things begin to shift. Quietly, gradually, and I'm sure it'll be permanently. So listen to me. If you're in it right now, and if you're in this season where everything feels like resistance, where everything is tough, where everything feels harder, the progress feels slower, doubt is louder, and quitting feels so tempting. Please hear me clearly. This may be a sign to keep going, not to stop. You need to stay gentle with yourself, gentle with others, but you need to stay consistent. And most of all, you need to stay rooted in your path. The truth is, when you feel this is a sign that you're closer than you think. There's a quote: when it feels the hardest, you're often standing on the doorway. So don't rush. Don't panic. And don't abandon yourself right now. This is not the end. It's just a narrowing before the expansions. You are on the narrow, steep path. This is a place that is lonely, and it's quiet, and it's hard, and it's dark. It's also a sign that you're about to summit. And the truth is, one day you will look back and realize that that moment you almost quit, and yet you didn't. That was the moment everything began to change. That was the moment you leveled up. So keep going. Stay consistent. And keep building your own inner advocate.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Your Inner Advocate, a podcast by Kimen Petersen, formerly Conversations with Kimen. If you found value in today's episode, please follow, like, and share the podcast with someone who you think may benefit from it. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and connect on Instagram at your_inner_advocate. Until next time, keep listening to and developing your inner advocate.